thank you to everybody that's here today. We appreciate your support and turning out and your time today. Our story, which is kind of interesting, is that our technology was birthed out of Belize, Central America, and if you could imagine being able to beam all of the niceties that you have in your home today in terms of internet and telephone and television into the jungle, we've done it. One of the things that I think that sometimes that we take for granted in our world today is the things that we're all used to, and there's so much underserved area throughout the United States, Canada, and really the rest of the world that we seem to sometimes forget about, not just personally, but even as private enterprise. And that's really, I would say, the biggest mission of our company is to address that. At this time, I'd like to take any questions that anybody may have. Richard?
Digital television to access the internet.
The product was originally designed to serve communities where they don't have access to flat screen TVs. They may only have a little 13-inch black and white TV. So this is designed to plug into everything from your old style television all the way up to the 60-inch digital monstrosity that Brian owns.
Good question. Anybody else?
You guys demonstrate something?
Of course. Actually, we have a phone here. Probably the best way to break up the demonstration, because I don't have phones to give to everybody, would be that let's make this an interactive demonstration. And I have a computer here that you're welcome to surf the internet, and I have a telephone here that you're more than welcome to make phone calls. Please. And then you can do that at your leisure, and then what we'll do is we'll blow up what's going on up here. Basically, just real quick is that this would be your basic graphic user interface that somebody would see if they were going to go change channels on their Comcast or their Dish network. Right now, that all runs down the left-hand side, and then you get your preview screen out on the right. And then you can just select whichever movie channel, whatever you want to watch at that particular instance. This box has the capability of, if you plug a Wi-Fi router into it to deliver Wi-Fi into the room. Any of you that may have an iPhone or a mobile phone of any type that can access the internet, you're more than welcome to do that. That's available in this room today. And that the password is Paco Paco, and it's all lowercase. One of the things that I can't demonstrate, but I can tell you that is here, that will be coming soon, is the ability to use a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse with this particular system, so that it's essentially kind of a web TV type of interface where you can do everything that you need to do from an educational perspective or from an entertainment perspective, just like you would be able to do on a computer. Yes?
What do you actually need in your home in order to get this?
Just this box to provide basic services such as TV and internet, really, because if you have a Wi-Fi router, you can get internet as well. So, in fact, you wouldn't even have to have a Wi-Fi router. You can connect, if it was close enough to your computer, to the port on the back directly to your computer and provide your internet. This signal is originating out at 3rd and Main, which is about 0.84 miles from here, and being delivered wirelessly from 3rd and Main to the top of the library here, and then wirelessly down here to the 3rd floor, or first floor reverse, first floor. So everything that you're seeing here on these 3 TVs today is completely wireless. Thank you. Yes?
The unit that's over there, the 3rd and Main,
yes.
What's the size? I mean, what do you have to do to get it to the system?
Well, the transmitting unit over there is essentially just a server that is streaming what you're seeing here. Everything from the graphical user interface to change the channels to the channels that you're viewing here today. And it's what's over there right now is about this big in length and about that big. And then in this building, there's 2 more servers, and there's 2 of them stacked on top of each other that same size.
You should, Ryan, this is a note. You should know that the box itself cannot operate without connecting to home. So it must find the network operations center somewhere in order to operate.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Would you get better service than DirecTV, satellite, going through the weather, since you're going lower level?
Probably from a weather perspective, it would be better in terms of rain fade. Chris, is that
We don't
correct?
suffer from rain fade.
Yeah, so rain fade would not be an issue. Obviously, there's different technical specs between our system and DirecTV. But you know, there again, you know, it depends on, you know, do you want to pay $200 a month?
I understand that we're right halfway in the movie and all of a sudden that's working. It's like,
Oh, no.
It's like,
No, not susceptible to rain fade. Good.
So when is the technology available here, and how much benefit could we learn? Or is this just a special group? How does that work?
Well, what we're looking to do is hopefully before the end of the year finish our first round of funding, and then to begin something like that here. And then, my understanding, 6 months before we could go into manufacturing, so it would be probably about June of next year at the earliest before it would be available.
To the public?
Yes, to the public.
And what's the cost roughly?
Cost for the service? We've been talking about that, you know, without any premium channels, probably in the range of $50 or less per month to be able to offer some programming and internet and telephone.
For $50 a month, you get telephone, internet, and
Yes. Yes. You know, and what makes it significant is that, you know, the cost to manufacture the system, anything from the transmitting from a tower, or even to our network operations center and on down to the end user box, everything is very inexpensive for us to manufacture because of the way our wonderful engineer has designed everything. Yes?
Will you have any type of media entertainment aspect to this?
Absolutely. We are working to partner with some people for content. So, you know, we welcome anybody that wants to do that.
Okay. To that point, one of the interesting aspects of the system, one of its goals was to allow local people to provide content through the network easily and inexpensively. And for instance, in Belize, we provided very inexpensive equipment, I'm talking something that's hundreds of dollars, to local musicians. And they actually created their own channels and streamed them directly to our network operations center for distribution to the rest of the network.
Yes, I know this is a conversation, similar conversation that I've had with Troy. Troy has a lot of opportunity in terms of working with independent artists, musically and in a video manner as well. And I know there's a lot of independent artists that are looking for a way to be able to distribute what it is that they make out into the consumer market through the media, and this is a great way for them to be able to do that. And we welcome being able to work with any independent artists that want to do that. Yes?
so what keeps Comcast and BellSouth from competing in your space? How do you keep them out for now?
Well, you know, competition's an interesting thing. I would say from Comcast's standpoint of view, the biggest thing, they're committed to the wire. They've got too much money invested in the wire to abandon it. There's a lot of people in the wireless space and a lot of people working in the wireless space to make a lot of things happen. Back to the FCC ruling on white space is that one of their goals is to accomplish delivering super broadband services. You could call this the first of super broadband services to be offered, because essentially, if you can offer these services and be able to generate, in this case, 2,800 square miles worth of service fairly inexpensively, you can reach the person that can pay $200 but doesn't have to, and you can also reach the person that can only pay $30, $40, whatever. So there's a lot of opportunity there. A lot of A lot of the white space initiatives, in terms of the big guys, they have not been working on that as hard as really they probably should have. And a lot of that has been waiting to see what the FCC's going to do. And as an example, September 13th, Microsoft began to work on this particular item right here, a white space initiative to deliver broadband services to the end user.
If you had a lower economic apartment, nothing in it but a TV, what would they need to get going? And then, what would you do if you're watching TV and then you wanted to use that TV as a computer? What is the process? And can you do the computer, TV, phone all at the same time?
Pass it to you, Chris.
That is one of the limitations of the system. If you use the box as the computer, you can't be watching TV at the same time. So you have to make a choice at that point. If you want to use it as a computer, you use it as a computer. If you want to use it as an entertainment center, you use it as an entertainment center.
But that's all you need is that box
Yes.
that they would get from you for
Yes.
And the keyboard.
Yeah.
a monthly or a one-time fee, a monthly fee.
It'd be a monthly subscription.
And if you wanted to go to the computer right now, you would need a keyboard.
Yes.
And then what would you do?
You need a keyboard, or in the case of the Wi-Fi connection, if you had a laptop or a desktop, you could also just plug a conventional computer into the back of the box.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you could watch your TV and use it.
Yes.
In this particular instance, in this particular setup, we have a laptop and a telephone here. And, you could feasibly take this laptop, sit it on your lap, watch TV, answer the phone call or make a phone call, and still watch TV and still surf the internet. In that case, it multi-chats.
Yes, it does it all.
Yeah.
Any limits to how much of that you can do with several laptops in the room?
It's really kind of dependent upon how much bandwidth is being provided to the end user. And that really depends on the market. So, in some markets where internet may be more expensive, like in Belize, it's very expensive for internet bandwidth. So, you make a smaller amount of it available for consumption. But, there's a limitation. It just depends on, if you want to have all 5 of your computers online downloading movies, you're going to slow down at some point.
Tell me that when you got up in the water yesterday with
The open access point.
Yes. Yesterday we were doing a test of all the services. This was kind of interesting. Speaks to Chris's efficiency in his model. And without going too techno-geek on everybody in the room, there's basically 3 megabytes of bandwidth available from 3rd and Main to here. And we had this going and on the internet and using the phone, and suddenly started a little bit of breakup up here. But then under investigation, we looked back and looked at the bandwidth manager. All 3 megabits of bandwidth space was going to our neighbors over here left east. But the amazing part is that everything still worked. And that's really the cool part, is that everything still works even when the system's under any sort of strain. So it's really a great job by Chris and his team. Anybody else? All right. Well, this will conclude, I guess, the formal part of this. Everybody is more than welcome to hang around. I know that there's several of us around, so feel free to come up, ask us questions. We'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. By no means am I rushing you out of here. You're more than welcome to stay and to talk and ask questions. Thank you for coming.